All right, hey, you beautiful people. This is your uncle, and so we're doing our Sunday video, and got a little bit to cover. Not a whole lot this week, which is great. Let me pull down this report to you guys first, and go from there. Don't forget, guys, this week we're going to be doing the go to our website, Super Easy Copy. No, not Super Easy Copycat. Futurix.com on Tuesday morning. Okay, because the website is being updated. So Tuesday morning, you can go to futurix.com and sign up for the Asian session because we're going to be starting on Tuesday night. Okay, so you have plenty of time. Tuesday morning, go to the website for those who are interested in signing up for the Asian session trading, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, because we're going to start on Tuesday night. All right, so let's go over news. This is the news events that I see for this coming week. AUD has inflation, Euro has inflation, JPY is going to be the one with interest rates, but the truth be told, I'm really not putting any emphasis on this because, as I mentioned to you guys many times before, when the U.S. changes their interest rates, then most of the other countries changes theirs. So if the U.S. has not changed their interest rates, typically, hold on, let me get on camera. Typically, then the other countries do not change theirs either, so I'm not really worried about that. But it could cause a little short blip in the meantime, so just be careful if you have open trades. Again, the European Union, which means there's a bunch of states or countries piled into the Eurozone, just like we have the United States of America, but it encompasses Hawaii, Chicago, Texas, Florida, California, Wisconsin, all of these individual little mini states or combined together to create the United States. In the European Union, you have all these little small states combined together, or countries combined together to create the European Union. So that's the reason why oftentimes when you see the inflation news, you'll see it repeated again throughout the week. And that's because another part of the country is going to be reporting it. Okay, so that's why you see inflation numbers coming out on Friday and Wednesday. And then the biggest one is going to be this one, you guys. So please make sure that you're paying attention to this kahuna right here, because this is going to be the biggest one coming out for the week, which is non-farm payroll on Friday. ADP is coming out with their precursor, so it's going to cause a little blip, but not that big of a deal. But NFP is going to be the main day. So if you're a brand new trader, kind of stay away from Friday. Okay, that's the biggest tip for you to learn, because that's going to be the biggest news event. All right, let's get to the charts and kind of take a look and see what's popping for this week. Guys, I still believe that the ocean wave is going to be your best bet this week because a lot of these are still in the upward trajectory because of the Trump tariffs. Okay, so as you can see right here, it's still saying that there's upward mobility, which means that yes, under normal circumstances, support and resistance, supply and demand zones, they typically work. But when there's fear in the land and it's going into the opening of the trading day or the trading week, which is Sunday going into Monday, I've always told you guys that typically the markets are going to try to stay within the trend. So as you can clearly see here, there's a chance that the AUD USD pair may continue to the upside. You see there's a buy arrow there. So, hey, do what you want, but, hey, this is just giving you a idea of what may happen. Okay, so let's go back to the other pairs. Okay, all right, so let's go here again. See, here's this choppy sideways action. This is consolidation, and I told you consolidation always equal what? Continuation. So there's a chance that this may break out to the upside eventually if it breaks outside of this box on the 4-hour time frame. Again, this is the 4-hour time frame, so it can come back down and retest this bottom and then break. As you can see right here, it did the same thing. You see it started down, then it went into what? A consolidation. And what happens after the consolidation? There was a continuation. Where did it originally start? To the downside. Consolidated, chop, 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 and then a huge break to the downside. Here we have an upside move, chop, 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 chop. It may break and retest this level up here and continue here. Okay, that could happen. Could. Again, it's influenced by the tariffs, so you can flip a coin and it could go either way. So which one would you do? If you're not sure, stay out of it. Okay, that's the truth. All right, let's get to this pair. Same thing. This is in the upward trend. You can see it's hitting these lower, it's creating higher lows. Boom, boom. So again, what would I be looking for? Let's check the ocean wave, see what it's talking about. Okay. All right, so go to the 30-minute, and you can see it's still above the main wave. 1 hour is still saying above the main wave. 15-minute is sitting right here. So again, anybody's business, anybody's guess, but right now it's still heading upwards. Okay, let's check the AUD while we're sitting here checking on this. See what I mean? Okay, y'all see what I mean? It's choppy, but choppy and sloppy, but you can see, and I've always pull it tight. So, you know, when it's big like this, and all I do is I go here to this little side where the money panel is, and I hold down on my left mouse, and you can pull it up. You know, you can pull it up, and you see it looks real choppy and ugly. But if you pull it down and tighten it up, now you can pretty much see exactly what's going on. So from this entry point right here to here, you were already up 104 pips. Okay, so again, this is still showing that it can pop to the upside as well. Check the 15-minute. Still saying the same thing to the upside. 1 hour is still saying to the upside. So me personally, if I was to have to choose, I would still be going to the upside right now. I wouldn't go against the trend on this one either. Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving. All righty, peoples. All righty. Going back to the 4-hour time frame. Okay. Now again, this is just a hypothesis. It can pull back. It can pull back because you say, hey, Uncle P. But what do you see right here, bro? And I see it. I see it. Hold on one second. Let me do something. Right click, go to properties, and go to line. And I'm going to take that to none. I don't want that on there. Okay. And I'll click and save this template. Okay. And I'll call this my YouTube template. Anytime you make changes, always resave the template. See, and it's going to ask you, it already exists. Do you want to replace it? The answer is yes. All right, there we go. So I do see that there's resistance right here. So again, there could be a pullback and then thrust forward. So again, when in doubt, what do? Stay out. Let's go to the regular sexy charts and see if we can see it a little bit better. And we're seeing that right there. Okay, so we'll just stick with this, something you guys are used to. I got the Hakanashi bars on that other one. Kind of smooths everything out. But as you can see, went up, consolidated, went up. And so it can pull back. It can. It actually can. But what would be my theory on that? Like I said, if it was me, I'm placing my money to the upside. Okay, eventually, if it breaks out of those boxes. Right here, same thing. It's already creating higher lows. So right here, I would be a buyer because it's sitting on support. Okay, I would be a buyer. See that strong support level? And it's already in a upward momentum. So I would be a buyer. Okay, all right. So this one, I don't know. It could do either or. It can't pull back and then go up. Let's check the daily. And let me move my head over here. And I'm gonna shrink my head so you guys can you guys can still see me. All right, so this one here from the daily is still showing up. 4 hour is stuck. So we don't know. We'll wait and see. All right, let the arrows do the talking. Nothing there, nothing here. This is still in a downward projector. Let's check ocean. 30-minute, and it's still under the wave. Okay, see, it's still under the main wave. Still under. Still down under with the thunder. If the market doesn't gap down, I would still be taking it to the downside. See that? Yeah, that's what I would be doing. Downside for me. Okay. I'm sorry, let's go to sexy. All right, so, but again, you know, it's judo chop chop. The markets are choppy. They're just ugly. I'm telling you, because of the tariffs, it's not nice. All right, so we have a triple top right here. I see that right there. So again, you see all this choppiness. This is exactly what I'm saying, guys. And let me be very blunt and clear with some of you guys. Okay, let me stop for a moment. You're looking at the review of these charts. Do not, and I repeat, do not bother us as traders. Okay, not every trade is going to win, and of course we're doing the best we can, and we have been keeping some very nice profits for everybody. But the market is just turbulent. This just don't. And I'm really upset because, you know, there was a person. Well, you guys are the experts. Okay, bro. Who can be an expert at this? Look at this. And people will see exactly. They read the news, knowing it's tariffs. They see the charts, seeing it's this. Who knows? You know what I mean? As long as we end the week in profits, leave us alone. You know, I don't want to hear about every single little trade. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, bro. Leave me alone. Leave me and my team alone. We are ending the week with profits, but it's going to be choppy. It is what it is. It's not smooth market. See, this was good right here. It was going down, going up, going down, going up. Okay, clear. Look at this. Tariffs. So if you know there's tariffs going on, why you keep bothering us? As long as we ended the week or the month in profit, then call it a day. Leave it be. Let us grow the portfolio. I'll repeat, let us grow the portfolio. Leave us be, man. I don't want to hear all that. All right? Calm down. Knowing you can't even make $1 on your own, but you want to tell us how to trade. Leave us be. We've been doing this a long time. All right, back to something positive. Had to get that off my chest. All right? People be talking like they the experts. It's like when people be sitting in the stands screaming at LeBron James trying to tell him how he should have been playing ball, and you can't even run up the court once without breathing hard. But you an expert sitting in the stands eating your hot dog and popcorn. Be like, stop. Quit. Anyway, back to positive. All right, so I see a head and shoulders here. Shoulder, and a head. So what does that tell us? I'm seeing once it pops out this box, I'm expecting to the downside. This is on Euro USD. Possibly, especially if the Trump tariffs are done for you and me. You see? All right, so let's do this. Yeah, I shouldn't be a rapper. Too old for that anyway. All right, let's go to the 30 on the ocean. And there you go. See, it's still under the main wave. Check the 1 hour. And it's sitting in neutral zone, 15 minute. What are you talking about? See, there you go. See? It's just consolidating under that shoulder. This is what we're seeing, that shoulder action on the 4 hour time frame. So it's just chop, 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 chop. But again, my money would be on the downside move on that. Okay, so that's what I see. Alrighty then, let's go to the next one. Nothing there. And again, same thing here. I see potential to the downside because again, here's a shoulder, head. That means down. Okay. This is nothing. I don't see anything. It's consolidating. All right, let me move over here. Nothing there. Nothing there. If I had to choose, I would be picking to the downside if I get a sell arrow. But again, it's going to probably pull back up. See this? See how it arrow came down and it's down? There you go. Check that 1 hour. And there you go. 30 minute. What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? So what I'm expecting is a pullback to try to suck up some of that drop from last week and then potentially go down. But again, the market could gap since it was closed over the weekend, and we'll see. Nothing there. This one here is sitting on the fence. This is a downtrend. Now, this one could break back through and try to climb back up to the 61.8 Fibonacci level. And this is with the sexy analysts, guys. So typically when there's a huge drop like this, it'll try to recover some of that. So it could stop right here and turn around and drop some more, which, by the way, you see it started on Friday. So it can continue that, or it can pull back up and try to recover and hit right here. Or if it pushes higher, it could go to the 61.8 and then turn around and drop again. Okay. Now this is a beauty. This is a beauty. See, we got here it is. See right here. We got the top. The peak is here. 4 hour arrow. This thing is in the chop box right here. That's the chop box. Okay. So once it chop, it'll either break out and retest the top, or it'll drop and continue on down. So that's a nice setup. And I think they're settling down. At first, all of these were shooting up like crazy because of the tariffs. But now that they're in negotiations, once the negotiations hit, watch this market go back and like a rubber band and snap back in place. And you're going to see some good, easy money being done. Okay. I don't see anything here. Nothing here. This one, same thing. It's in this little chop box range right here because of the tariffs. See, the tariffs did this. Dropped it real hard, snapped back extremely hard. Now, if we can, what I'm expecting is for it to pull back to somewhere at the top of this chop box right here. And once it gets back to the top of the chop box, that will be a great entry for sale, okay, to the downside, because you see all these are creating higher lows. Okay, here's a high. Here's a higher low. Here's a higher low, so you can see it's already starting to do what? Walk downstairs. So after a nice little pullback, this one would be a good to sell to the downside. Me personally, that's what I would think. Okay. All right, nothing there. Let me move over here. Y'all like my little dancing head? See, it's stabilizing. This is the dollar. US CAD is stabilizing, but it can still have a little bit of turbulence. Okay, let me stay right there in the middle. Actually, let me just shrink myself. Okay, all right, move over here in the corner. Can y'all see me? Hello. All right, we're getting close to the indices coming up as well for the futures traders. All right, and don't see nothing there. Although you see it created its bottom. This is what I'm saying. The dollar's created its bottom. Here's the shoulder. Here's the head. It may pull back and create another shoulder on this side. It may pull back and create another shoulder, a lopsided shoulder over here, because we already have one right here. Okay, we have a shoulder. Hold on, let me make this better. We have that shoulder, and we have a head down here. Okay, head and shoulders. See, it goes sideways. They do a last minute pop the balloon on taking out people's stops. That's how the heads are created. And then they bring it right back. And then it comes back down here, consolidates in this range right here somewhere. Oh no, there we go. Consolidates in this range right here. Pull back to there. And then after that, it takes off. Okay. Same thing here. Here's a shoulder. Here's a head. Shot up. May pull back. So I expect a pullback possibly. And then after that, a pop to the upside. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the indices. Okay. I'm going to go to the 1 hour time frame. And it's sitting right here. I'm expecting the markets to continue to go up because, again, the markets are now recovering from their loss. I do expect it to break out from here. Hopefully we don't get a weekend gap because if it does, then we missed a great opportunity. So I'm hoping that it'll stabilize and just sit right there for a little while longer and go on to the upside afterwards. Okay, see that? Okay. Let me switch over so y'all can see something else. All right. I'm just going to my blank charts, and you can see it right here from the 4 hour time frame. See that? So it could shoot up to the 61.8 Fibonacci level. And again, this is all part of the sexy analyst system, so you can take everything off and just use your Fibonacci's, or you can use your Fibonacci's with the trend lines and all that good stuff if you want. Go to lovemycharts.com, and you can get the whole system. And then, like I said, you can add your trend lines, add supply and demand on support and resistance with a click of a button versus you trying to mark up your charts and all that kind of stuff. But right here, strong support at the 50% retracement. I do expect it to at least explode up to the 61.8. Same thing here, potentially. But since we're scalping the markets, how much of this really matters? It really doesn't. You know what I mean? It really doesn't. It's just giving you an eyeball clue as to where it potentially could go. Same thing here. Okay? All right, you guys. So Futurix.com is for the futures trader. Again, on Tuesday morning, you'll see an additional link for the Asian session trading because we're going to start trading live on Tuesday night. And so go ahead and sign up for that. The times and all that stuff will be in the tutorials on Tuesday morning. So once you sign up for the Asian session, immediately go and into the tutorials, which would be a separate section only for the Asian session traders. Now, the New York traders is still on fire. Miss Jenny is doing an amazing job with you guys, putting them pips in your pockets, making that real money. Okay, making that real money, boy. I'm telling you. Woo! All right, Dr. Elvis is doing an amazing job with the Forex trades and also with the oil and silver. We still got the indices going. We got the gold trader going. So if you want to be copied on trades, then you want to go to Super Easy Copycat, which is at the top. I think it's at the top left. Super Easy Copycat. And if you want to be live trading with us in the Futurix markets, in the futures markets, then click on Futurix.com. And again, the New York session is already popping, so you can get started on that as soon as this week as well. So you can be trading on Tuesday morning with Miss Jenny. And again, one final thing, on this Wednesday is our final Wednesday together with my live free classes that I've been doing for the last several years. Bishop T.D. Jakes retired today from ministry, and I'm retiring from the free classes this Wednesday. This will be our final live session. So if you have any trading questions that you want to learn about or whatever, this will be your opportunity to join me live free. Because on next week, starting next week, what's going to happen, Jenny is going to be doing Tuesdays and Thursdays in the futures market, and I'm going to be doing Wednesdays moving forward for our paid clients, okay, for the futures market. Okay. All right. So I think that's enough, guys. So let's go ahead and wrap up. I'm finna go on a date with my wife to go see the new movie, The Accountant 2. So I don't want to miss my date time. So enjoy this video. Hopefully it helps. And I will see you guys in class on Wednesday. All right. And again, both of the links, Super Easy Copycat is at the top. And so is Futures. All right. Peace.